Boom and Bust welcomes the Honourable Tim Uppal. He is the Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party of Canada and the Member of Parliament for Edmonton Mill Woods. Great to have you on the program, Tim.
Hey, great to be here, Tony. Thank you.
I guess, I don't know how to start this other than to say this is the strangest return to Parliament I've ever seen.
Absolutely. It's not even 2 weeks and it feels like 2 months.
Exactly. Exactly. But this whirlwind is a return to Parliament. So maybe just give our audience a little bit of the highlights for you so far.
Listen, we came back and, we were going to push hard on the housing crisis, on inflation, on crime and drugs. That was our aim. And, we had our first question period, went hard at Justin Trudeau on those issues. And then right after that, we had the revelations of the murder here in Canada of a Gurdwara president, a Sikh temple president, that India may have something to do with it, which are obviously some very, very serious allegations there. We went from there to Friday and hosting President Zelensky. Great, moment for Canada to be able to host him. A very, security situation wise, it was a very tight, high security event, high profile event, one that would put Canada at the world stage there. And then we find out the Liberals allowed an actual Nazi into the House of Commons. Unbelievable. And now over that, instead of the Prime Minister apologizing and taking some responsibility, we have the Speaker who has resigned. And now we're going to have a Speaker election. So lots has happened in just a little bit of time here.
Sometimes in life, a week feels like a month, and sometimes a month feels like a week. So I think we're in the latter category right now. And of course, for our audience to understand that once the Speaker resigns, you can't do any other House business until a new Speaker is elected. And so basically, the work of Parliament is going to grind to a halt for a period of time, hopefully a short period of time, but not exactly Parliament at work, is it?
No, and you're right. So he has deferred his resignation by a few days. We're going to have kind of like an interim speaker step in, somebody else can act as speaker until then, and then we'll have a blown out election of the speaker. So it's the disruption. So you can kind of say it's minimal, but still, it still disrupts the work that needs to be done and takes up a significant amount of House time that we're going to lose now.
Let's move back to substance. Pierre Poilievre and your caucus have been concentrating on cost of living issues. I'd like you to elaborate on that and also tell us a little bit about what your constituents in Edmonton are saying about these issues too.
Yeah, we're hearing this right across the country, especially here in my riding, where Canadians are just having a hard time making ends meet, paying for basic things like groceries, filling up their gas tank, getting to work. I had a mother who was so concerned because, they're going to have to. They had to decide of which child plays hockey this year. You couldn't have both of their children play. So those are the very difficult decisions that Canadians are having to make. We have young Canadians who, because of the cost of living, the cost of housing right now, are not able to buy a new house or move out of their parents' home to start a family. All these things, all of this could have been prevented, and that's just it. And that's the frustration that Canadians are feeling right now.
And the Liberals, I think, were kind of browbeaten by, I think, the Conservatives and by their own constituents to try to address these issues. They made an announcement on housing, an announcement on food prices. Maybe you want to comment on whether those are enough.
Yeah, so you're right. We've been raising this in the House for, day in, day out. Pierre Poilievre has been talking about this for almost 2 years now. He was saying that we're going to have an inflation crisis. And, Chrystia Freeland is the finance minister, the prime minister, Bank of Canada was saying, don't worry about inflation. It won't happen. We may have to worry about deflation. Interest rates, they were saying that interest rates would stay low for the foreseeable future. So banks were actually giving people advice. People have come and told me over and over again that when they went in to get their mortgage, the bank said, the government said it's going to stay low. You should just keep your mortgage open. And now we have the highest rate of increases in a generation. And so people are paying a lot more. They're stuck with those very, very high mortgage payments because the government said they would stay low.
Tim, I'm going to interrupt you there. We just have to take a brief break. We'll be back with you after that. Please stay with us.